What's going on, guys? Demolisher here, and you're watching, hopefully, some Battlefield 3 gameplay, and I have a special guest, some asshole named CobraWolf.
Fuck you all! I hope that didn't make you lose any subscribers, because, yeah, they probably don't know me.
I hope it did.
It was somewhat sarcastic.
No, it wasn't.
Somewhat sarcastic, because there's probably a couple of you where I will blatantly just say, fuck you.
Anyway, so, teach me how to PSP.
Teach you how to PSP? You know, you just spawn trapped me right into that, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I can't teach you how to PSP, because it's, you know, all in the thumbs, really. Kind of like, you know, it's like teaching somebody how to do a little firefighting time. It's all in the wrist. Not much I can teach you there. You're on your own. You gotta watch a video or something for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought it, and he said it came with a couple games, so I got excited that I didn't have to maybe jailbreak it yet. It was fucking Grand Theft Auto and Scarface. I'm not gonna.
Scarface sucks, man.
Who buys a Scarface game?
You know, I didn't. I have it on my Wii, and my Wii's modded, so.
Oh. Okay.
I removed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was free, so that's something. It was horrible. Oh, they're making a new one that's supposed to be really good, but it was really bad.
And I've spent like maybe an hour or more when I was in class earlier trying to figure out how to jailbreak this damn thing, because, you know, Nando was all Google it, motherfucker, but most of the crap is just empty forums claiming they have stuff, and everybody's like, I'm 12 and what is this? And none of it's useful.
Yeah, well, he also doesn't have a PSP, and he's not really into hacking or anything, or modding shit, so it doesn't help much, really.
And the most constant instructions I found were from 2007, saying I needed either a game called Luminous or a game, it was like Grand Theft Auto LCS.
Yes.
And I don't have either of those, and I'm not about to pay more money to play for free.
Well, the cool thing about the Luminous, well, actually, there's two cool things. One, it's a really, really good fucking puzzle game. It was actually one of the best launch titles they did, and it's still really, really fun. And two, it's like $4.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like $4 pre-owned. It was a launch title.
Oh, well.
Yeah. And that was the way I did it. It was actually very, very simple. Took me about 10, 15 minutes, about the same amount of time it took me to do the Wii.
Right, okay.
It was easy. It was good, though. But then you have Luminous, too, which is a really good puzzle game.
Yeah. Then I finally found a freaking thing that updated me to the latest version, which I was like way behind. This thing is ancient.
Yeah.
And then found custom firmware shit to work. And so now, since I have a 1 gig card, I can either run Crash Bandicoot or Tekken 6. That's all I found to be able to fit on it.
Yeah, I don't even know what I have. I mean, I haven't turned mine on in so long. I have, you know, in my office area, which, you know, a setup video will finally be coming soon now that my camera's been fixed. I have a bin of portable systems where I have 2 Nokia N-Gauges.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. I have games for it, too, mind you.
Oh, jeez.
Game Boy DS.
Yes.
And, I'm sorry, not a DS. I'm not cool enough to have a DS. It's a Game Boy Advance SP. GBA SP.
Okay, at least it's an SP.
Whatever, I love my fucking Game Boy. And I have my PSP in there. And my PSP I actually got for free from a guy for doing some computer work. It's the original ones, the 1000. Which made me very happy. Yeah, it made me very happy, old fat one. PSP fat. It made me happy because those are the easiest ones to mod. Right out of the box, you pretty much do whatever you want. And the only problem was the power adapter on it snapped off. That little prong that's in the middle actually snapped off. The guy, his son, actually snapped it one day. So I bought one on eBay for about $10 and spent about 2 hours with those little tiny fucking shit-ass ribbon cables.
Trying to put it in.
Oh, that was so annoying. Not something I want to do ever again.
Yeah.
But I did it, and I broke some of it on the inside, and then I ended up taping it, and it was all fantastic, actually. There's like electrical tape and duct tape and shit on the inside of my PSP. And the funny part is, you know, Sony makes their own electronics. You know, they're an electronics company.
Right.
Samsung makes the monitor.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's actually really funny. I would not recommend ever taking apart your PSP, though. It is just not fun to do. But I figured, hey, what the fuck? You know, Free PSP.
I don't like the inside of small electronics.
No, it sucked. It really bad, actually. It was not... I don't want to do it again.
Generally, the components I work with are the size of the PS3, so... Yeah.
Yes.
Or, I mean, PSP, not PS3.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, when you're doing just regular desktop computer stuff, it's not a problem.
Right.
You can teach a monkey how to do that.
Yeah.
That's my memory card.
I still have my Game... Speaking of the Game Boy, I still have my original Game Boy, which is pretty awesome.
You know, it's, there was... The green one?
No, mine's just a little, like, tan brick.
The original Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the green screen. Like the pink green.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a running joke in my house about that when I moved down to Florida from Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
We were packing all this shit up, and I had a Game Boy, and I don't know if you ever saw it. They had a Game Boy case. It was like a hard shell case that held your Game Boy and all the games and accessories and shit, but it looked like a Game Boy.
Yep.
You know, it was almost like something you'd buy a little kid, like a lunchbox, but it was a Game Boy case for your Game Boy. It was really cool. It held everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we were packing all this shit up, and she kept telling me, you know, you've got to get rid of something. You've got to get rid of something. And she looks at my Game Boy, and she's like, you got to get rid of this. I'm like, but
what?
It's a Game Boy. It's the smallest fucking thing in the house. It'll fit. So every time she wants to throw something away, I'm like, you know, it's not much bigger than a Game Boy. Gotta keep it. So no, mine, it died. It had to die someday.
Oh.
But I do have other consoles that I was never. The handheld thing was never really it for me.
Yeah,
even my
same
PSP.
Here.
You know, I use it, but not as often as I thought I would.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm afraid is going to happen since I bought this. I'm just going to be like, oh, it's cool for a week, and then just kind of be done.
Well, you know, you paid $50 for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like,
So if you play 2 games through to completion, which I definitely recommend the Metal Gear Solid one.
Really?
The last one that came out, the, whatever the fuck it was called.
Peace Walker?
Peace Walker. Really good. Really, really good. And I definitely also recommend the God of War games.
Yes, I was planning on getting those. And then Dissidia 12 Final Fantasy or whatever.
Yes. Yep. I mean, I know they released didn't they just release those for the PS3 also? The
God of War ones, yeah.
Yeah. And I think they are releasing Peace Walker on the PS3 as well.
That ought to be interesting.
Yes, they're putting it in HD. But I do recommend those. Those are really good. The Assassin's Creed one was pretty cool, too.
I didn't know they had one.
I think there's 2. There's at least 1. It was good. Those were fun games, though. So I would say if you play those through completion, you got your $50 worth out of it.
Right.
But on the flip side, you know, you start diving through all the mod sites. There are so many applications for this thing. You can turn it into you can turn it into a little mini computer, basically. You know, it'll do PDFs, it'll open Word documents, it'll it'll help you war drive.
Yeah. Hell, I was almost web cracking on my DS a while back ago. Granted, I didn't have the patience to figure out a couple minor issues, but I was almost there.
Yeah, they're fun systems. But handheld thing was never my thing, really. You know, my Game Boy, that's why I never got the DS. It's cool, I'll probably get it for my kids, but...
Well, see, a long time ago, I put, like, millions of hours into the Pokemon games and all that stuff, but, like, ever since I discovered multiplayer gaming, I just kind of dropped it.
Yeah, people still give me shit for playing Pokemon. I love Pokemon. I think they're some of the best RPGs ever made.
Yeah. I still gotta play all the way through the most recent 2, but that's okay.
Yeah, I haven't done that. And that's mostly because I never got the DS, and I'm just like, if it comes out for the Wii, I'll get it for the Wii, but other than that, I'm not gonna...
Emulators are pretty frustrating.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with it. You know, basically when the DS drops down, or they have some kind of sale where it's like $50 or $60,
right?
Then I'll get it, and I'll get that crazy fucking hacked out memory card.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Put all the shit on that. That's just the best way to do it.
Honestly, my original intention for getting it was just the fact that you don't have to carry around 50 million different games. They're all just there. Yeah,
and that's not why I want to do it, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, and then I was like, oh, you can actually get free. Okay, download all the games.
Yeah, and it's funny because I actually, you know, I have a bunch of hard drives that are literally sitting right next to me, so...
I must do set up video.
I have I have games on them. That's where I still have some of my Sega CD games.
Oh, yeah.
And that's because to burn a Sega CD game, just for a completely useless random fact.
Mm-hmm.
You have to burn it at 1x.
Really?
And if you do not burn it at 1x, it will not read it.
What?
Yeah. So you have to have a machine completely dedicated to burning Sega CD images, which are the full size of a disc. They're like 600 meg.
Yeah.
So that's not a fun task. I burned like 3, and then I got pissed. I'm like, fuck this. I can't sit in front of this for this long.
See, I've never really been able to do much with the modding of the, like, disc consoles or anything. I tried doing some swap magic stuff with my PS1, or just like the regular disc swapping stuff, and never got any of that working, and I've been too much of a wuss to try and modding the new next-gen stuff just because I can't afford to replace it.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the same thing that I've gone through. Like, I still have... I've got the Sega CD. Well, I'll go back to the beginning. I have a Nintendo. I have 2 Nintendos. I have the front loader and the top loader.
Mm-hmm.
We'll stick with Nintendo. Obviously, I have the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, GameCube, and the Wii.